Welcome to Saturday Night Cenobites. My name is Frat Nay, and I am the host of tonight's evening. And I have a special guest, and he had me when we met each other. He was like, "Just call me Joe" at the bar that we met at, and I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." And my name's hard to pronounce too, so I told him in response. And so, Joe, welcome to the show, and thank you for being my guest tonight.
Hey, thank you for having me. Glad to be on the show.
Indeed, and we're raising funds for his film career as well as the Corazon Cinema and Cafe in St. Augustine and the Sunray Cinema because those are some of our favorite independent theaters, and they are currently closed right now because of the pandemic. But we're trying to help get those virtual screenings and the drive-ins populated for them. So you're a native of Jacksonville, Florida, and what brought your family down to Jacksonville and all that good stuff?
Well, see, the thing is, I was actually born and raised here, so everything that I know, family, friends, and all, and even in different parts of Florida. But Jacksonville's just been my home, and just trying to make the most that I can here, and take advantage of opportunities. Love meeting people, newer people, and also just love helping the community and those that I come in contact with.
Most definitely. And you started theater at the Stage Aurora Theatrical Company in North Jacksonville. And what made you? What found you? What connected you to? Like you found your way there. What drove you there?
But that's an interesting story. See, what happened was this has happened all before I even existed. My mom and Daryl Rubin Hall, who was the CEO and the founder of Stage Aurora, they went to school together. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they started in elementary, or if I'm not sure, maybe middle, but all through high school because they're also Reigns Vikings. Yeah, I guess they were connected through social media. And after school, when I came back to Jacksonville, I was talking with my mom and I was saying, hey, I really want to try to get involved and kind of get started with this. I'm not sure how I'm going to get started, but she mentioned that she knew Daryl, and so she reached out to him, and then he reached back out to her. He got me in another colleague's class who's also a range Viking. Her name is Angela Robinson Whitehurst. And for those who may be familiar with her, she's one of the stars of Tyler Perry's They Have and Have Nots on Oprah's Own network. So and before she even got that role, yeah, she was teaching and she was also acting on Broadway. So she was given a class, and I went to the class. It was a 2 day class. There's some amazing people in there. My first head class, I was nervous, I was tense and all that, but it was more relaxing as I kind of got in, more involved, and so after that, I learned some different things and all. And then what happened was they were doing the Color Purple, the musical, at the theater. And so actually they were holding auditions the following week after the class. And so I was, we were out there, we were just talking and all. And so, she was saying, okay, are you going to be at auditions and all? I was like, okay, like, I think I need some more time. I don't have a monologue or anything like that. She was like, okay, um, this monologue that I gave you in class, you can use that for the audition. And I was like, man, I don't know if I'm ready for this because I think I still need more time to kind of get comfortable with everything and whatsoever like that. So I don't know when I'm going to be ready. And then she just told me, she said, "Well, when will you be?" And I was just like, so she said, "I'll see you at auditions next week." And so I just remember I went in there auditions and kids, adults, and all that, all those from Jacksonville come to audition and I went in, I was nervous, I was tense and all of that, and then I just know that it was the following week. He Daryl actually ended up casting me, and then after that, that's when my journey started.
Awesome. And what was it like working on the Color Purple musical? Like some memories you can.
The memories, I can say most is the people that I met, the people that were part of that cast. That whole thing was just a process, and those who also know theater, especially when it deals with musicals, it's not just learning the lines and just acting and all. It's also the singing and it's the dancing and all that. So all of that kind of just coincides, and it really theater actors really have to put a lot of energy into what they're doing. I mean, and so it's like you're looking at just like being in a good mental space, but also being in a good physical space. And just it really does kind of really get you prepared. Well, actually, that show really got me prepared for what was going to be coming next. Just from other shows, or even if it was another musical, or just anything in general. So just it always put me in the mindset to always be ready. So that's why I can say it was the one of the most important moments in the process in doing that show.
Most definitely. And you also had the chance to work on August Wilson's Fences. What were some memories off from there?
Yeah. Well, the thing about it was August Wilson. Hearing about his shows and all, I actually got a chance to see Jimmy the Ocean because the University of Florida was doing it, and so I think I was a senior in college, and me and I went with some of the theater department, and so we went down to Gainesville, and just I got a chance to see this like amazing production, just with the students of Florida and all doing, and just how the magic and everything like that came together. First, they did like a panel, and then once they did the panel and all, we were able to ask questions, go and eat and all. Then we finally got a chance to see the actual show, and I mean, it was it was something amazing. So that was the first time I got a chance to see August Wilson's plays, and then it was just different because I actually ended up going um, to the audition for Fences, and then I was just honored to be a part of it, and got a chance to work with Eugene Lindsay. He's a popular figure in Jacksonville, especially within the performing arts community. And then also got a chance to work with Joseph Stitt, who was he's a native of Jacksonville, but now he moved to Atlanta, and he's doing work there. And also I know Chantel Robinson, Michael Ward, Gene Hapolite, and Kay. I mean, yeah, some good figures just within the acting community and in arts. So just honored to be just a part and a part of August Wilson's work. So good time.
Awesome. Indeed. And Dreamgirls was a great movie, and I remember watching that and all that good stuff. And what drew you to that production?
Well, at the time, Stage Aurora actually had a series of shows that they wanted to do in a row, and so so I got a chance to actually audition for it. Like they brought us in as doing different dance routines and things like that, and I mean, just that was like maybe like my second largest cast that I've been a part of, because Color Purple was the first, and then it ended up being Dreamgirls, and just that was another thing, where you had to be physically ready and mentally ready. I mean, there was sometimes some days had to be long hours with rehearsals and going over music and just consistent practice and then also just being able to hold that balance with just with everything that was going on. So but I mean, just to tell you, I mean, that was a show that I mean that I would take in, and then of course, some of the cast members that had what color purple were in there, but then largely it was just a whole different group of people. So that's the most thing I can take from that.
Most definitely. And you were also part of Dale Rubin Hall's Frat House. What memories do you have of the Frat House?
All right, so Frat House. So Frat House, I did remember I heard about it and got a chance to actually got a chance to read for it because I know I forgot exactly what he was trying to go for, what he was applying to. But I got a chance. I read for the show. We kind of like went through it and all, and then he ended up submitting in for the Atlanta Black Theater Festival. And so when he got that chance, he actually I came in, read for it, did whatever I could do. He actually ended up casting me, and actually with that show was half of Jacksonville's cast and half of the cast was also from Atlanta. So yeah, we kind of had like a mixed cast. And the thing is, we didn't see the Atlanta cast until maybe like within like a week before the show. So, just so we can get well acquainted. But those of us in Jacksonville, we actually, we had, we're basically on our regular schedule as though like the whole cast was together from Atlanta. And also what was good about it was we also had some guidance from a few people who were actually in the play before I even came aboard. Because I think it was one of the first shows that Daryl did, and I think it was in like 2003 or so. And think about it, I was still in elementary school. Well, not elementary school, but in the eighth grade in junior high. So this was going on, and now later on, I come in when it's like I think like the third run of it, and yeah. So after that, the rehearsals, then actually being on the campus of my college, I always saw like fraternities and sororities and them stepping. So, just like I'm trying to like take some of that I know and that I learned in my mind, I kept with me. I'm like, okay, I can some kind of in a way apply it. But just to tell you, those guys, the ones who actually taught me how to step was Jarrell Williams, and he's also known as Step Sensei on social media. Him and his group, Main Event, which was guys like Dorian Hooper and Tony Williams and those guys, who are also a part of the cast. I mean, those guys, they step in competitions and they compete. And for them to kind of take a person like me who really didn't like, who wasn't acquainted with it as much as they did, I mean, they were that patient with me. They took their time. They took baby steps with me, and then they got me show ready. So yeah, and then just remember when the cast came in, we practiced together, and then we went. We drove to Atlanta, and we were there for 4 days. I remember we went on Thursday, we rehearsed, and we had to be on stage Friday and Saturday. And also Takia Krista Kima was who was also the mother of That's So Raven and also part of the Cosby Show. She was in that show with us, and also Melba Moore, as you would know, one famous singer. She was also a part of that show with us. So just but yeah, this that whole thing, that whole camaraderie, and just that experience and being in another city where nobody knows you and all. I mean, it was something great. I mean, that's a memory that I know I would take with me forever. Regardless of wherever I go, wherever I end up, that show and being in that place. And then we actually ended up doing it again in 2015 and 16. Yeah, we did it at FSCJ North Campus, and also we did it at Amelia Island Playhouse. So got a chance to do the show, two runs, but extra three times.
Wow, that's pretty amazing with an all-star cast and like with celebrities in there. That's wow, that's cool. Like just blows my mind for sure. And we have some viewers in the watching, and so there's some comments in here. So um, Real says he's an awesome young talent. Um, I've seen him in local plays, and he's excellent. Simply loved him in Frat House, Fences, and The Color Purple. And he's also said that he's also a face on the electronic billboard ViStar ads and television commercials. He's also on other ads too. I know he will be on a television series soon, so we'll definitely get to that for sure. Um, Thank you, Real Will, for your input, and thank you for watching as well. So
I appreciate
good,
it. Thank you.
indeed. So you were a part of the production from Phase 8 Theater Company called Ruined. What was that experience like?
Yes, Ruin is ran by Jamario Stills, and good director, good student, and just a good mind just to pick. When you really want to go there and go deep and really find those places where to go as an actor. And also, yeah, he's actually from Jacksonville too. So, and I know he's in school right now, and expanding his education. I think it's um I think it's somewhere within theater or actually like directing or so. But yeah, and actually there's a story about that. In Ruin, I actually saw that show my senior year in college as well. The students from Tennessee State came down to Daytona because Daytona State College was actually having this theater competition and with different shows and all competing. And so Tennessee State, those students they came down and they basically used one of our facilities for rehearsal space, and so I was able to sit in and watch the process and all, and I'm just like listening to them through the accents, and just bringing everything just to life. And then just to go and see them on the stage with all the props and everything like that, I mean, they really bought it. I mean, it was really an influential show. And I mean, it stayed with me. And then it was like, wow, it's just the most amazing part was because I saw this in 2011, and then I end up doing the show 7 years later. And so then I'm just like, wow, like seeing the show, and all of a sudden now I get a chance to do it. I mean, like this is something special, and that's where not only did I just meet Jamario, but I also met one of your guests from last week, Gabriel Pride. That's how actually me and him first met, and then like ever since then Rashad Sessoms, Sam, Mia. I mean, just it keeps going on. Amber, I mean, Theo, a lot of different people that I met. But I mean, I can just say, just like with Gabe, Rashad, and those guys, and Theo and the rest of them, and Mia, we have a family bond ever since then. We may not be able to see each other as much, but even if it's just a phone call or just writing each other, hey, how you doing, and all. I mean, that was something really to take. And then one of the like something that was just different. Jamario actually had a few refugees from I think they were from the Congo as well. They actually came in and spoke with us, and speaking about their experiences and what it was like, um, just to be, to go through and how life was over where they were from. And then what else was then at the same time, we were watching like different documentaries and just different films and all, really just to kind of get ourselves like going to that place where they are, or like how it feels to, have power just by having a gun, or being in fear for your life, and just different things like that. And I mean, and then at the same time, this all, while the wars and these battles and all this is going on, this show is taking place in basically what you would call, they would call it a whorehouse. And just seeing like different soldiers and just different battle ready warriors and all that, and different people who are actually in that village or actually in that country come in and play a role with what's going on currently. So I mean, yeah, but that's a special show, and the writer to that, yeah, she's really special, special with her words and the dialogue, and also yeah, it really does touch the soul.
Most definitely. And which were the other shows that you were part of at Phase Eight?
Well, actually, that was my only show at Phase Eight, because it wasn't long ago until Jamario had to leave. But I do know that they also do have other shows and all that that they've done. I didn't get a chance to check them out, and actually had shows were going on even before I got there. But yeah, that was my only show there at Phase Eight.
Awesome. And so you worked on an Untitled Project. Did they ever come up with the title for that, or no, it was probably called Untitled at the at Sunray, I believe, is when I saw you there. Was that the one, or?
No, no, the one that you saw at Sunray was Americans. That's the one that Tim Driscoll did.
Uh,
To where yeah, it was the one shot scene.
uh,
Yeah, so that was it. But the one Untitled, that was done by Gabe. Gabe actually wrote, and he helped shoot the film on direct. I just remember I remember he was telling me about the project, and also who was a part of that show. I'm sorry, a part of that film was Ivana Barnes, and Ivana, me and Ivana actually we met. Um, we are actually with the same agency. We met through a shoot with the Jaguars, and like ever since then, like we've been auditioning together, getting like paired up, or we also like ended up being on the same sets. And he was telling me about doing a project with Ivana, and kind of what it was about, but he didn't tell me everything. And I just remember, I think it was probably like the day before we shot it. He said he was like, "Hey, you got time and stuff like that? I'm doing this project." And so like that, he gave me the location and all, told me what to wear, and then it happened from there. Holding that axe, and actually just to let you know, that was a real axe. So nothing fake or it wasn't no toy. Well, it was actually a real act. So I had to, you know, be careful, with that. And yeah, just followed his lead, and I didn't even know how it was going to look or how everything was going to be vision. I just remember everything that I did. And so he said, like, give him, because I remember he brought it out on March the 31st. And I just remember, like, seeing it, and then how he did, like, the color change, the light change, especially in the elevator scene where it turns red and everything like that. I was just like, whoa, like, Gabriel, he did his thing. So so yeah, I ended up I was satisfied with it, and I'm hoping that he comes up with more ideas. He always knows that I'm open to it, and I'm here to help him, and just looking just to build and keep building and connecting and making those relationships happen.
Indeed, and man, he's Gabriel said it's always great working with you. He said, and he's all and their next comment was by Iman Foster that says that boy good with an exclamation mark at the end, and then Gabriel said, "Tell him about the blood." So, is there something about the blood that was in Untitled? Think of.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. See, now the thing is, um, well, he was actually putting the makeup on me, and he kind of colored under my eyes and all. And so after that, he was gonna, like, basically he was using a paintbrush to, like, splatter um, what is it blood shots, like, on my face. And so I remember he was about to do it. He didn't tell me to close my eyes. He licked it, and I'm sorry, like, a piece of it got into my eye. Like, some of the little bit of the blood actually got into my eye. And so I had to wash, like, get my contact out and kind of, like, like, wet it and rinse it off and all that. And then even though I still have some solution in, I was still able to kind of put it in and go from there. So really, not to say I was really going on one eye, but it was just like it didn't feel the same as comfortable as it should have been. But other than that, we made it work. Things happen, and I was just ready to go. I was ready to do it, so I didn't worry about that. And even if I didn't have a contact in, I still would have did whatever I could. So yeah, that's that story on the blood.
Indeed. What's the story of some stories off from Cupid's Way?
Cupid's Way. So yeah, so that was a part of the 48 hour the Jacksonville 48 hour film festival. And I was glad to be on the team with Tamika Lee and also her fiance Nick, because they run, I forget what is the name of the company again. I can't recall at the moment, but I'm gonna remember before we get off so I can tell. But there are some great filmmakers. They do film, they do music videos, and also they do a television show. I'm not sure if it's about mental health or so like that, but yeah, you can check them out. And I'll after once we're done with the interview and all, I can send you that information and all that. So, but yeah, with Cupid's Way, yeah, 48 hours and to make a film where basically you have to go choose your genre, so like that, pick from it, and then have your team together shoot. I mean, basically, you got to write, then you got to shoot, and then you got to go and edit, and then actually turn it in on time. I think it's on a Sunday. That's Sunday at a certain time. So so yeah, I just remember the most thing I remember is being up. I think, like, almost until like 4 o'clock, because they got the scripts together and we're just like basically trying to memorize our lines and be ready and everything. We need to find out what wardrobe and what location we're going to shoot at. So it was like I just remember, like, I probably went to sleep for maybe like an hour, and then I woke up, and then yeah, it was this time. It was like our chat was just going and all the scripts and all that, and then it was just like, okay, all right, I got to do my best to have this memorized and have this together so we can deliver. I just then remember we went and shot at, I think, like 2 or 3 different locations, and just doing makeup as well, and kind of going from there. Then I mean, actually ended up getting done on time, and we turned it in on time. But um, but yeah, it was kind of like a bit of a comedy and something a little bit serious, but mostly comedy. But yeah, it was some good people on there. Valencia Waters, um, David Emmanuel, Trina Washington, and for land. I mean, just that was a good cast just to make a film for it, only 48 hours. But I mean, it was a process, and I know that the 48 is it happens every single year. So I mean, I kind of know how it feels to be a part in, and just the rush, and just the whole entire process. So I mean, it's something that can be tense, but it's something good to experience. So if you ever get a chance to, or Sarah, if you want to, you know, try 48, go ahead and try it. It's something good to experience.
Indeed, I did a 24 once, and so we filmed it all. We did everything in 12 hours, and we had $25 to work with. But I'll send you that movie, and you're gonna be like, "How did you guys win an award for this movie? It's just out of this world." It's like 8 minutes long, but man, it was an adventure. But I'll definitely send you that to you. Gregory Bing the second is joining us too, and he said the man right there. So he's giving you mad props. And you also worked on Abyss. What was some stories behind Abyss?
Well, the best was done by Treve Davis, and I know Treve. I know he will tell you he's from California, and he's a filmmaker, and also he's a film student at Florida State University. And so yeah, he was here in Jacksonville for some time, and we got acquainted through Jack's Film Bar, and he's I remember he wrote me because actually we met, and he actually ended up writing me, was saying, hey, I have this role for you, or so like that. And so we talked for a bit. He sent me the script and all, and it was no words, no dialogue or nothing, and so and whatsoever. And then I just remember when it was time to shoot. My cast member, her name was Carrie Compton. Yeah, we were ended up being the two that were casted in that film, and basically, we were on this long road over on the north side, near the Budweiser company, and just with how Zane and Treve just like made that entirely like cinematography come together. I was surprised by it. I mean, I didn't even know that it was gonna come out like that. And also, I had like viewed a few of Treve's stuff before, and seeing the work that he did, and just with the end result of it, I mean, it was something to see. And then just with the two characters, like you don't see what happens to them, you just know that they're basically one. The character, which is me, is dead in the car, and basically, she wakes up because it seems like they hit a deer or something like that or something, but they start and I'm dead, and then she wakes up, and then she's trying to wake me up or so like that, and she gets out and is trying to figure out what's going on. Then she sees me, all of a sudden appear there, but I'm in a different type of clothing, and it's kind of like she's kind of like in between a decision whether, okay, if she goes back to the car, she's she's alive, she stays alive. But if she decides to go with me with my character, she basically has accepted her decision of death. So it's kind of like almost like that decision to come with. Do you want to go back to your life to where you were, so like that, or would you rather go ahead and take this life, but you don't know where you're gonna go or what's gonna happen? So that's the
Indeed.
story of that.
Real World commented again. He was like, "You're an awesome actor," and see if I can do this right. He's like, "From Duval." I'm a Colorado kid, so I had to do that for you.
I got you. It's
Yeah.
not bad for the first time.
Thank you so much. And you were also on a film called A Heart That Forgives.
Mhm.
What's some stories behind A Heart That Forgives?
Yeah, well, Hard That Forgives was also done by uh, Joanne Durant, and yeah, she relocated from Jacksonville. I think she's in Arkansas now, but she's originally from DC. But yeah, I just remember one of my castmates from the last run that I did at Frat House, Tyrone Lennon. He contacted me, and another castmate was asking because he was already a part of the film, and he was saying that she Miss Joanne has some roles available to audition for. So you guys are open to it, come and audition. So we came and I auditioned for it, and then I ended up getting cast. and just everything from there. I mean, a lot of people that I met, and actually, I think yeah, that was my first time meeting a couple, but that's a whole other story. But yeah, I got a couple of scenes in the and I think it was probably like one of my first um films where I had dialogue. So just the kind of like okay, like all right, first film, used to theater and things like that. It's like all right, let me kind of try to figure this out and stuff like that. And just I kind of not just from that, but just also like the process of learning about film and being a part of films. Just like I was talking about with Stage Aurora and the Color Purple, it was like like okay, am I ready for this and stuff like that? It was kind of like okay, I had to learn a lot of things about being in the trenches, learning, as the show was going on, and so just like I had to realize that when you're in theater, you know, being big. You being big, this and that because you want to reach the audience in the back. But then when it comes to film, it's more of like stillness and it's more like, like an intimate space right there. And so I kind of had to learn that because it's like okay, bring it down a little bit, and just kind of have a light and but a tense conversation with someone, or be here in this moment. You don't need to be here because everyone back here does not need to hear you because we're not in a theater. So, but yeah, that was my experience on there. But yeah, just happy for the just from what I took from there, and then at the same time, met a lot of good people there. And actually with Miss Joanna, I actually got a chance to work with her again on the stage show. So made another connection there.
Indeed. And the film that I saw you in at Sunray, the one shot shorts with Tim's film American. What was it like working with Tim and the movie? Some story behind American.
Yeah. Well, tell me, I mean, he's an incredible director, and I was glad to finally get a chance to work with him. Like, we always were talking anytime where he would come to Film Bar, whenever I come to Film Bar, and whatsoever like that. But we never got a chance to work with each other. But I did see some of his work, and I do remember before he actually went in. I remember we were over at Riverside. And what he did was he actually he was outside and I was leaving and he told me, he stopped me, we were talking for a bit. He said, hey, I have this role for you if you want to, if you're interested or so like that. And so yeah, he sent it to me, and then just once we got out there, and I think we shot this over in Ponte Vedra, out in that field in Ponte Vedra, and all I could say was, yeah, just got a chance, got makeup done, like I was like I got beat up and all that, and and all, and then just them bringing this entire like set together. Like Zane was one of the guys there who drags me off. And he drove his truck out there. We had the cameras and all that going. So and then I just remember from how the story goes is basically me and my wife are the leaders of this group who are basically what I would call it against these rebels who who are a certain agenda that they're trying to push within the country or so like that, and we're against it. And so and basically what it goes to, we end up getting captured, us and also those who are a part of our group or so like that. And then all is just that um, one thing happens, somebody gets killed, and then everybody else is starting to get picked off and picked along, and then you really knew like the shock factor was when one of the kids gets killed by one of the other rebels, and it was just like, oh. And so like right there, it's like you seeing all this chaos and everything happen in one shot. And I just remind you, it's one shot, so there's no cuts or nothing. So we had to do this. We had to probably do that scene like maybe almost like 7 to 10 times, to make sure we had a large like amount of takes to take from, and to find the right one. But yeah, just I mean that right there was just that was probably like one of my first times getting experience of being in a live one shot, and so now getting that experience is like okay, you know what? If I want to go and try to do something like that, I now kind of know what it takes. But it's to do that. I mean, it's so much that goes into it. Like you got to be organized and have things in place, and just being on one accord. So and so that's one thing I can say I took from that. And yeah, Tim, I hope to work with him again. But yeah, he's a good filmmaker.
Indeed, all around good guy for the whole scene in Jacksonville with the film bar and all that good stuff, and his frat festivals and all that good stuff that he's a part of. And shout out to Tim. And also, what was it like working on The Exchange?
The Exchange. Well, The Exchange. The film has not been released yet, but yeah, that was something to take into. Henry Hatter is the director of that film, and creator, and basically I know I end up playing a doctor, and basically it's a single mom and her son. Basically they're going to this town or so like that, and what they don't know is that this whole town is like a cult, So I can't say anything else from there because it hasn't been released yet, and then I don't know what else is gonna go into it because I only did my scenes and all, and then I know the other scenes that were done, so I'm not sure if it's completely done yet. But yeah, basically it's a whole cult that's going on once that family ends up coming to that town, and then the story goes from there. So I keep
In
that one there.
most definitely. And Gregory, being the second, asked, "Did you feel more pressure during the one shot?"
Okay, the one shot. I wouldn't say I really felt the pressure because I mean everyone. I mean just that entire like set, those the cast that was there. It was like we just I didn't feel by myself. Is basically what I'm trying to say. Um, it was a bit of a pressure because it was like, okay, in my mind, as well as kind of bringing the balance of doing your part and all. You're trying to you worry about, okay, not messing up, or to really stay focused and do probably do something a little bit different than what you did in this shot, or try not to do the same thing, or trying to bring the best emotion that you can or the most that you can with just within probably just a couple of minutes versus you having like almost like a 30 minute to like a 2 hour and 2 hour and a half movie to where you build those emotions up and let it out. But it was like, yeah, I just the pressure to bring it just within a few minutes. Yeah, a bit of it was there, but at the same time, I guess with those I had people around that I could trust and those who I've known, and connected with or so like that. So it kind of took a bit of the pressure off, and so I would say that a little bit was there, but not too much.
Indeed. And so, what other films did you work on after? Yeah.
Okay, so film wise, I'm trying to think. I actually did a couple. Actually, I did one with Gabe um, before when we did Untitled. I forgot. I didn't even get a chance to look at the final product, but I remember it was me, him, and Danielle. We actually ended up getting together to go and do this scene, and basically it was ad lib. We got put in a situation and we ad lib, and so that was something intense too because now you just got to kind of go right there on the spot, and this is being filmed and it's going to be submitted. So see, I forgot exactly. I have to get with him to find out what's the name of that film. And what else? Actually, I did. Did I do a couple of those yet? I was also part. I was an extra in Coffee with a Madman that was shot locally here in Jacksonville. I also did a I was a cop in a film. I'm sorry, like a film series in Orlando. Got a chance to work down there, and then other than that, yeah, I think that's all I can think of. That's on top of my head that I worked on. But I know it's a couple more that's out there, but it just I just I'm going my mind's kind of going blank right now. I'm like, yeah, I don't work on a couple more. But once I think of it, I'm definitely tell you.
Indeed, we'll put it on your IMD profile and all that good stuff, and
Mm.
keep them all informed. So, going back to Real's comment, entry, uh, Gabe says, "Pagan Few" is the title of the film, and he has it on his hard drive. So,
Okay.
yep. So going back to Real's comment, he said that they said you were part of the ViStar commercial and some print. What are some commercials, more commercials that you were a part of, and some print ads?
Yeah, well, Vistar was like was the first, and just to let you know, and Laura Blair was one of the main reasons for that happening at Jack's Film Bar. Just with that one, I remember where she actually put it out there that they were casting and so like that, and so she was saying send headshots, and also actually I ended up seeing her that day, and I sent her my headshot, and after that it was I remember it was like maybe a week and a half later. Laura wrote me back saying that hey, they're interested, they like your look and all, they like your headshot, and and then after that, then I remember the following week they were saying that they're really considering you, so just be aware, but they could go in another direction. And then I just remember they said you're booked, and they asked me for my clothes sizes, my jacket, shirt size, and everything like that. And all I remember was we went to the ViStar branch in St. Augustine, and then just from there, I mean, it was just like it really hit me once I got there on set because like I saw just seeing people there, the crew and them started taking things out, and like once it really like hit me, I was like, okay, this is real. Like, is this really happening? I saw like the B bars and those other equipments and all that, and they set for the lighting and all, and the camera started coming out, and I actually came across a castmate who um who was in a stage show with me. She was also on there too. Her name was Katrina I think it's Katrina Mervin or Carson. I think that's what it was. But yeah, we ended up being there. And then Marion Blunt was there too, who I also met, and also I was a part. I was also part of his his show. He has a series going. I think it's called Doctor Vesavius. So I was one of the officers who was investigating a crime um, on that series. So yeah, and so when I got there and all, and then they took me to the room to the office where I can pick my. They were giving me my clothes and everything like that, and I got dressed and all that, and the wardrobe lady and all was basically dressing me up and everything, and then they told me where to stand and all, and at the lighting told me what to do. We did it, and then after that, it I think this was actually I ended up doing the shoot a day before my birthday. The day before my birthday, so that was like a true birthday gift to me. And so after that, I know it went like some weeks later, and then some months went by. And, I wasn't thinking about it or nothing. All of a sudden, I get a text message from one of my castmates who was in room with me, and she said, "Hey, congratulations! I saw your billboard." And I was, surprised. I was like, "Billboard?" I'm like, "Oh," and then I ended up going to rehearsal that day, and then I went after she told me where it was and all, and I saw it, and I was just like, "Oh my God." And then I just remember I ended up telling my mom, and then after that, I went and revealed to my family. Like I told my brother and cousins, aunts, and cousins, other cousins and all. And then it was like within a few weeks after that, I just started getting messages, screenshots, and all that. Somebody saw it on Pandora. I even had some of my college friends, who were in different cities and states and all. They was like, "Hey, we saw this, whatever like that." I was like, "Oh man, this went everywhere." So I mean, that was an experience, that I would cherish, like just for the rest of my life, because that right there was just like something like that I could not check off my bucket list, and that was like one of the goals that I had, and hopefully get more. And then I got a chance to do fling golf, do a shoot for fling golf, the commercial and a print shoot, the National Safe Boating Council, which was also promoting life jacket safety. Got a chance to do a shoot with them. Naturals to Go, which is a vending machine company. That was actually one of my first gigs that I actually got through my agency. And also to let you know that Maria, um, Pulliam, I think it is, and Cheryl, there's some great agents at Premiere. So you know, just in case, they're good agents, just to let you know. And other than that, yeah, I got a chance to go before this pandemic happened. I got a chance to book a shoot in Orlando for Kamado Joe Grill, and then the end of last year, towards the end of last year, I got a chance to do a um, a commercial with Visit Jacksonville, And so yeah, those are some of the commercials and print jobs that I've done.
Man, that's awesome. Just just having all your friends just writing you and sending you those screenshots from Pandora and beyond. It's great. And Kid Tut or KID Tut was like says a very successful African American male with attributes to and will become an acting legend. He's a perfect candidate. So that's
I
had to say
appreciate it.
that.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
And so, other than doing film and being in print and commercial and acting in theater, you're also a sports fan. What are your favorite sports teams?
Yeah, well, let's start. Let's see. We're gonna start with the NFL. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the local team. That's why I came up. Growing up with it, because they like when I was little. That's when they came in. So yeah, of course I'm a Jaguars fan, and for NBA, I don't have a distinctive team for the NBA, but it's just because I was a Michael Jordan fan. So it's I guess Michael Jordan's time with the Bulls kind of maybe become like, okay, if the Bulls are in it, I'm rooting for the Bulls. I love LeBron. Um, what was it, Kobe Bryant and all that. Just I came up. I'm really more of a fan when it comes to the NBA, a fan of the players. So that's what I can say most about that. Now the MLB, I really get interested when playoff season happens, and I'm definitely watching the World Series. And just to let you know about the World Series, my two favorite World Series to watch was when the Marlins and the Indians played, because that went to I think was 7 games. And I remember watching that. I remember watching that with my mom and them, and that was an intense going back and forth series. And then my other favorite was when the Chicago Cubs and the Cleveland Indians went at it a few years ago, because those are two teams who one never won it, and one team who has been there for like over 50 some years. And it was back and forth and all that. It was a lot of excitement. So yeah. So those are just like some of mine. And then college, people are gonna be mad with me when I say this, especially here in the state of Florida. But since I came up watching the Gators and the Seminoles, I'm I'm a Seminoles and Gators fan. So I don't choose and pick to see who I'm gonna pick over who or so like that. But anytime that Florida is in it, anytime the Florida team is in it, I'm rooting for Florida. But it's Seminoles and Gators. Not much of a Hurricane fan, but I'm for Noles and the Seminoles. I'm sorry for the Seminoles and the Gators for college.
Indeed. And you're also a moviegoer too. And what are your favorite movies?
Okay, yeah. So since I'm a moviegoer, so yeah, I grew up watching superheroes and Marvel and all, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and things like that. So yeah, I would say yeah, of course, watching the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I'm an action packed, adventure type guy. Um, love drama. A little bit of comedy. It depends on what it is. Um, horror is not what it used to be. So I would say the most thing is, it depends. That it kind of depends on the horror, but other than that, just those are more like on more along, I'm sorry, more along my lines of films of like, and also mystery and sci-fi. So I'm just a movie lover in general. It doesn't matter what the genre is or whatever. But I'm gonna tell you this. Um, I like films that make me also think. Like I want something different. Okay, if I've seen this before and I've seen it, and it keeps going on and on and on. It's just like, okay, I've seen this before. Let me get something, that's different. That's going to make me, kind of think outside the box, or just make me question something. And so, I know, like there's a film that I'm looking forward to. Don't know if it's going to come out this year. We should have gotten it in July, and it kept getting pushed back and pushed back. But Tenet. That's going to be with John David Washington and Robert Pattinson, directed by Christopher Nolan. And because I was a huge Dark Knight trilogy fan, and seeing even what he did before then, like when he did Memento, with the movie, where basically the film is going backwards, and then parts of it is going forward, and then like the Prestige, Interstellar was good. I mean that was a good visual too. And then of course Inception. And those movies like that, where it's just like kind of has my mind going and thinking and stuff like that. I like things like that. So when anytime it's like films like that, hey, I'm there for it. I'm there for it, and I'm there to enjoy myself. So I can't, I want to. Hopefully, theaters will open back up soon, but we'll see what goes from there. But that's the kind of person I am when it comes to movie going.
Most definitely. And so as hopefully the theaters do open back up, and as a friendly reminder, I'm trying to raise funds for Joe and get some subscribers and some to his Instagram account, and if you can donate to his acting career, and that'd be fantastic with his Cash App. And check out the digital watch from home from Corazon and the Sunray that's scrolling on the bottom there. And are there any final words you'd like to give, some final shout outs that you'd like to give out there, Joe?
Yeah, first thing, let me give a shout out to my family and friends and all, and everyone who's watching and all. I know some people that's in the chat and all. I'm thankful to, just first thing, let me thank you for actually having me on this show. Just I'm like the platform, everything that you're doing, and you are just because coronavirus is going on does not mean that you're going to stop. You're going to find a way to make it happen. And then just from meeting you for the first time and then seeing where things are going with you, I mean, hey, I'm wishing the best for you, and that this right here just takes off, to another level beyond another level. And also want to sit there. I want to thank Stage Aurora Theatrical Company, Daryl Rubin Hall, Angela I'm sorry, Robinson Whitehurst and Scott Whitehurst, who are also my first acting teachers. Cindy Hogan, Jill Donnellan, and Jacksonville Film Bar. Can't get enough of them. I always want to thankful for them for what they provide me with, the opportunities, and just the bond and all. And then just everyone who's been connected with me, who's been with me on this journey, and even before then, just thankful for them. So.
It's an honor to interview you and deep dive into your film career and your theatrical career and all that good stuff. And Archie Grover says, "Great interview, Joe," and all that good stuff. So he's watching. Um, yeah, and thank you so much for being a part of it. And I'm glad that we briefly got to meet thanks to Jack's Film Bar, because that's where we got to like link up. And those guys are amazing, bringing casts and crew together, and just they're really great for the Jacksonville film scene. And I'm truly impressed by everything that you were in, that I got to see you in, and film wise, and Gabriel's films, and that I've got to see on his Vimeo channel. And it's just a blessing to see you grow, and I hope more commercials come your way and film roles come your way, because man, you deserve it. You're an all-around great person to interview. So thank you so much for being on Saturday Night Cenobites, and thanks everyone for chatting in the box with us, and um, as well. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below after this, and share it with all your friends, and so that way we can fund some more money into Joe's Cash App, and get him some more subscribers on Instagram and all that good stuff. And thank you again, and for tuning in to Saturday Night Cenobites, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, Joe. Anytime. See you soon, bud.
Take care.